Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Horse Center. After hopefully everybody had an enjoyable Labor Day full of barbecue, great hamburgers, great hot dogs, or whatever it is that you choose to eat. This evening, we're joined by Jockey Jerry Villegas as our guest this evening. Jerry, how are you tonight?
Very good. And you guys, how's everything?
Everything's going pretty good on our end. You know, it's always tough to get back to work after a few days on the sidelines, right?
Right, right. Yeah, kind of hard, when you eat often, they don't get.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like in 2022 here, you're on pace to have your best year since 2017. What's going right for you?
Well, if you guys know, I was down in Charlestown. I just took a move at the beginning of this year, January. The fact like all my family from here in Pennsylvania. So I moved my tag over here to Pennsylvania and to Penn National, and I've been having a really good opportunity, and I kind of fit the track, and everything been going pretty well with me, and I've been doing pretty well lately. It wasn't that bad. I really can't complain.
Yeah, like I said, you're having a rebound year, looking like it'll be your best year since 2016. So continued success with that. Is that the Chicago Bulls up there?
Yeah, it's a Chicago Bulls. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. What's the connection to the Bulls? Because I live in Chicago, or are you just like a Jordan fan? Is it
But
old?
yeah, pretty much like a Jordan fans. Yeah, yeah,
Sounds good. I mean, I think everybody on the planet is a Jordan fan, wouldn't you say?
yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty much what I am. I'm pretty much a Jordan fan in basketball. I love pretty much sport. I watch a lot of baseball, a lot of basketball. So
I see. So if you weren't horse racing, what would you be doing?
you say what again?
I said, if you weren't a jockey, what sport would you play then?
Probably baseball. Yeah, I used to play baseball for a lot of years since I was 3 or 4 years until 16, 15. Yeah, a lot of
Mm.
time playing baseball. So
What position did you play?
I started playing second base, but since I was 11 or 12 in my later career, I started playing outfield, the center field, and that's pretty much what I did in the rest of the my journey doing baseball down there.
So what got you into horse racing then?
Well, pretty much my parents say that I was smaller and I was fit pretty. I fit pretty good riding horses, so I take a shot. It wasn't anybody from my family that ride horses, but my dad and my grandfather, they used to play a lot. Ride horses and things like that. So they told me, hey Jerry, you're small. I think you can fit pretty well in horse racing and as a jockey. And do you can try? Do you want to try? And I say, yeah, definitely, absolutely. I figured out that I was playing baseball, and I figured out that I was smaller. It probably gonna be a little bit hard for me. So I take the shot moving to a jockey. I went to the jockey school in Puerto Rico, and that's pretty much the beginning.
So it seems like a lot of the successful Puerto Rican jockeys go to the Puerto Rico School of Horse Racing in there. Who else was in your class with you that folks would be familiar with?
Well, in my class was Jose Ortiz, and Emmanuel Nieves. He's down in Louisiana, and Angel Suarez was in my class too.
I
It
see.
was a few of them, yeah.
So it sounds like it's a lot of fun. What do you think makes that school so successful?
Well, the instructor, they do a pretty good job with the jokes. They go, pretty much part from part, and they teach pretty well. They teach in that way that you really can, have that. You know what I mean? You can get that. If the way that they teach is pretty, good way to do it, and that's where we learn pretty well.
hmm
How did that decision go from moving from West Virginia to PA?
Well, it was pretty much my family. Honestly, I was looking for a mile track. Charlestown is a 3/4 track. It's kind of different style of riding and things like that. So that's pretty much my move. The fact like pretty much all my wife and my kid family was from here, from Pennsylvania, and the other thing that's what like I was looking for a mile track. So that's why I make my decision to move to Pennsylvania. The fact like Pennsylvania, Penn National is a mile track, and all my family they live maybe like 2-3 minutes from the racetrack. So that pretty much make my move.
Yeah, speaking of that, I met you in May at Penn National, and you had a slew of family members there. Is your family there every night, and who's all there supporting you?
Yeah, well, now that the kids are in school, not that much, but they always there. They always pretty much from there. My kids love their racing. So they pretty much every night they are there. But the fact like they start school, so and we racing at night time is kind of hard for them. But pretty much all the time they are pretty much there.
And how about those nights? There's still nights you're traveling to Charlestown to run a couple races?
Oh well, if it is something if it is something important or something that I really have to, yeah, I'll go. I don't mind. I was there maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was good. I feel I always like the track. The people down there they are pretty well to me. You know what I mean. But the fact like I said, my family, wife, and all my kids and everything they're from Pennsylvania, so I decided to move. But yeah, they treat me pretty well in Charlestown. I can't complain.
What do you think your strength is as a jockey? I think the night I was there, and a lot of your wins seem to be you get out of the gate really good.
Yeah, yeah. The fact like I was riding in Charleston. That's the main thing in Charleston. You gotta be pretty aggressive out of the gate, and I get advantage of that. But my style, I really love ride horses from behind. I love it when I get horses from behind. But like I say, I feed. It depends the horse. If the horse, is that kind of horse that you gotta put close to the pace or whatever. I can do it. It's no mind to me. But yeah, I can use the horses in front too, but I pretty much feed. I think that I feed a lot more coming from off the pace a little bit.
Mhm. So the way you said that, you said it with a lot of emphasis, like, "Oh, I really love the horses coming from off the back." So, what is it about horses that coming from off the pace excites you?
Well, when in some of that kind of tracks, so some kind of races, when the horses come from behind, I think that you always have that extra full on, that extra two full on, because when you got a horse from the back, I think that you got a little bit more chance to be right there, because the horses are close, and if they catch a really decent pace, you got, most of the time you got between 80 to 90% to be there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Horses to the lead, they pretty much, if they don't get the lead comfortable, it's maybe one or two horses down there that maybe burn you, and most percentage that you run out of the gas with a horse in front that with the horse from behind. So that's the kind of different. But a horse from behind is nice because late or early you're gonna catch a really decent pace, and they always, if they give you a little, like I said, a little 3A, little quarter or something like that to finish, you always, you always gonna be 1 to 3 at least. You know what I mean? So
Mhm. Now, you mentioned that you wanted to move to a mile track. What do you think it is about your riding style that a mile is better for you than 3/4?
it's a lot. It's my track. You got a little time to put yourself in good position and things like that. You don't need to ride a little bit that much aggressive out of the gate. You can break and sit relax, and may put your horse in the perfect spot, in the perfect position to attack, and that's make a little bit the difference. It kind of more easy. A three quarter track, you gotta be a little bit more aggressive, and the decision in a three-quarter track is really, really fast. And
Mhm.
any race horses, the decision is pretty fast. But on a mile track, you might have a little bit more space here and there, or kind of different things that is a little bit more easier that a three-quarter track.
Well, that's certainly understandable. So, what lessons did you learn at the school in Puerto Rico that today? Well, which lesson did you learn in the school of Puerto Rico that you feel like today it contributes to most of your success?
The most of the thing that in this game, you gotta work. You gotta be there. You gotta work every morning. You gotta hustle, and what I mean, no matter what this is the result, you gotta keep trying. You gotta try hard, and you gotta be there. You gotta work out there. You gotta be there every morning if you have to. That's
Mhm.
better. But that's the one. That's the most thing important because some of the jogs know how to save right out of the gate. You know what I mean? But if they keep working, keep trying, it's moment come, and that's very important.
Now you say you got to work in the morning, but you race at night, right? So when you get done at Penn, I mean, what time do you usually get done at Penn National?
But national last race can be between 9:15, 9:30, which ain't that
Mm,
bad. Compared with Charlestown.
mm,
Charlestown last almost 11. It's kind of hard, you know.
mm. And then what time do you got to be there in the morning?
In the morning, the track open 6:30. I'll be there 10 before, 5 before. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I understand. So you mentioned because you race at night and because you're probably gone in the morning, you probably don't see your kids a whole lot while they're in school. But let me ask you a question. When they're in school, do they tell everybody my dad is a jockey?
Yeah, yeah. They pretty much they be proud of me all the time, and the fact like they really love the horse racing. They enjoy that, so they spend a lot of time talking about it. So.
Hmm. So do they like spending Friday nights with dad at the track or Saturday nights?
Yeah, yeah, they do. They do. Every time off that they have, and I was riding anywhere, they be there. They there.
Mm.
How's that conversation gonna go when one of your kids wants to be a jockey?
Uh, Actually, both of them like to be a jockey. They same mind, but it's depend. You know, I recommended. I introduced them to finish school. Take everything that they need in school. Get the advantage, and later on, when whatever they decide to do, it's their choice. You know what I mean? But as long that they complete the school and all that type of grade, so I'll be proud of them. After that, they decide what to do.
Mm.
Before we went on, you said you could talk horses all night. What is it about horse racing and horses that you could do that? Because it is a job for you. A lot of people, they don't want to talk about their job when they're off.
Right, right.
Right. But you still want to talk it. So tell us what's so special about it.
Well, it's good, you know what I mean. It's a lot of things that the people don't realize, you know what I mean. Race horses, you get on the horses and that's all. When you race a horse, your mind gotta be in the race, you know what I mean. You gotta be in the race, you clock gotta be right there, That way, it give you a little bit more easy to, collocate, get your horse in good position. When you got clock, when you break out of the game, get clock, and what the pace is, what the pace not, and all that kind of things. Make it fun, make it easier, and it's really good, man.
Mm.
One other key difference between Charlestown and Penn National, at least part of the year, is Penn National has a turf course. What do you think about riding a turf? Do you like it?
Yeah, I really love the third course. Actually, a little time that I got the opportunity to ride in a few races anywhere in the turf, I got really good success. I really love the turf. It's different, a completely different surface. But when you got that kind of horse that kind of help you a little bit in the grass, you can get a good advantage. And I really love it. The turf course over here is really nice.
Do you feel now that you've been around Penn a little bit that your mounts are starting to improve and your quality of horses are starting to improve because they know who you are now?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, yeah, pretty much. That was the good thing on my side. My first, I can say maybe my first 2 months was a winner right out of the gate. So and that helped me a lot. You know what I mean? So
So when you're at a new track and you're on new horses, right, all around new people, so to speak, how do you get prepared? I mean, because when you're at Charlestown, there's some familiarity. You kind of know the horses and all that already. But when you go to a new track, how do you prepare so that you can have the most success?
where most of the success is when you get on the horses. It's very important when you get the horses. You get to know the horses. If you got the shot to work the horse, galloping or getting the horse in a few times. That's a good advantage because that's really tell you what really like the horse, what not. You know what I mean? Plus, other thing is that you gotta associate with the people. With the people. You're gonna be in a new, different place. You don't know nobody. You try to be, what I mean, the most gentleman that you can, and work the hard that you can either. That way, people, you know, yeah, that way people can give you a shot and you know what I mean, and and trust about you, and you can show them whatever you can do. You know what I mean?
So you have, I think, if I count correctly in my mind, 7 mounts in the next 3 days.
Mhm.
Any of them that you've worked or galloped or that you've seen that you think that horse players like us who like to put a few dollars on a horse, any that we should
Yeah.
circle and say this is an absolute winner?
Actually, I really can't tell right away because I really pretty much study my races. I was about to doing that, but the fact like I got this interview with you guys, it gave me a little bit away for it. But ain't no big deal. But I always this is my time to read my horses for the next day. So I haven't touched much from my horses for tomorrow. But out of the 7 horses, I can say that maybe at least 2 or 3 got really good chance.
If we only knew
Yeah.
which those 3 were. So if tomorrow, so let's make a deal. If tomorrow you win both races, it's our fault. If you don't win either race, it's your fault. Fair?
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah,
That's how it always probably is with a trainer, right? If you win, it's the trainer takes all the credit, and if you don't win, it's all your fault. Is that about right?
yeah, pretty much. Some of them, in this sport is pretty much like that. The jocks sometimes got all the charge. You know what I mean? So, but we trying, and in my case, every time that I'm not in the board or not, it's because the horse don't give me much. You know what I mean? But every horse that give me a little, a little, help or whatever, I always try to be there. Even if you know win, I know win, but it's between money for the second, third, and fourth. It's kind of different from the trainer's owner. So even if I win, I fight for that second place, third place. To bring something to the trainer and the owner because they see that oh they don't win, but they still trying. They try, they try to bring something to the table. You know what I mean?
So we talked a little bit, we joked a little bit about the trainers getting all the credits and the jockey getting all the blame. But as a jockey, what's your favorite thing about being a jockey as a professional for your living?
It's something that I really love to do, and it gave me straight. You know what I mean? It gave me straight in my real life because it's something that you gotta be like you gotta be professional. Man, and educate myself to be a professional. To be a gentleman. Me to do things right in life. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. When one trainer told you, "Hey, you gotta be 6:30 to work this horse," you cannot be there 6:35, and that's discipline. And it's been gave me a lot of discipline and a lot of joy and a lot of good things.
Were there any jockeys at Penn National that kind of showed you around and took you under their wing to like show you what Penn National's about?
Not really, not really. But they since the beginning I get here, they treat me pretty well. They introduce me pretty much every other thing open national, and I get it right. They've been pretty well to me. They've been pretty good friend with me.
Did any jockeys throughout your career, even in Charlestown, like kind of help you along the way?
Yeah, they do, yeah, they do in Charlotte because I spent a lot more time in Charlottetown than Penn National. I just my beginning over here, but the fact like I was like 9 years in Charlottetown, yeah, I had a lot of joy that helped me. I got a lot of jokes that help me inside and outside the business. So, but it's kind of different because I spent 9 years down there. It's just only my beginning international kind of different. But I'm sure that when the jokes out here in international get me more confident and things like that, it's gonna be a lot different. But at least at the moment, for the only 3 or 4 months that I've been international, they treat me pretty well. I really can't complain.
As your time expands, there's any plans to eventually maybe go to Laurel, go to Delaware, go across the Mid Atlantic a little bit when Penn National's off?
Yeah, lately, I've been for the past 3 weeks, I've been going to Laurel. Excuse me, Delaware. I've been at Delaware for the past 3 weeks. Actually, I was supposed to be there on Friday too, on a really live mount. So it depends the time. It depend the time. You gotta have the opportunity. You know what I mean? If you don't have the opportunity, for me, ain't no big deal to travel. If they give me the opportunity, I will be there. Because like I say, that's something that I really like to do, and this is something that I chose to do. You know what I mean? So even I don't know how far I had to go, but if I had to for this business and for myself, I do it. But like I say, in this business, it's very important to have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You had some fellow jockeys and old jockeys as well. Just put a vote in for you as well. Jorge Tipa and Jordan Tunan.
Oh,
Why are you calling guys old, Shawn?
No, I said old jockeys. Jorge Tipa, I believe, rode when I was a kid, if I remember correctly.
So you're old?
Well, I am old. I am 38 now. Yeah, or 37. Wow. See, I'm making myself older than what I am.
Mm-hmm. Jerry said no win tomorrow. He no, it's ceviche.
Oh.
So is that your go-to meal, ceviche?
Yeah, pretty much this is my good meal from Peru, and actually Jorge is my father-in-law, and he's a really really nice guy. He gave me.
Well, you have to say that about him. He's your father-in-law, and you're on TV, so
he's. I really have to give him a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm.
He started over here in Pennational. Actually, if he wasn't for him, I might be here, but my beginning was a little bit more harder. He introduced me a lot of trainers. He get me started in a really good barn, which he worked for. Is Tim Pricer, which is the leading trainer over here. He get me started in that barn. He made Tim Pricer to give me horses to get up to work, just to know the track, because coming from 3/4 track to a mile track is kind of different. So Georgie give me the help to get, find me a few horses, a few barn, introduce me with a lot of different trainer, and that helped me a lot.
That's always good to have good help,
he
right?
He cooked one of my best meal from Peru, so which is ceviche. So he do a lot of things for me. So I really had to thank him for all that.
We're gonna have to get some wins for him then. Absolutely, 100% for sure. So 9 years you said at Charlestown, so maybe 9 years or less at Penn National. If everything worked out the perfect way for you, how would you see your career go? Where would you see your career going next?
Well, like I said, I'm gonna keep working hard, and I'm gonna see how things going. But like I say, if I got the opportunity, I'm sure I can go really really far. But this business, you gotta have you gotta have the opportunity and take advantage of it. But I have really good opportunity at the moment. I'm doing my best, but as long as I got good opportunity, I'm sure I can go really really far.
Well, it certainly shows that. As I mentioned, we started at the top. Looks like you're having a very good year. He wins for the family. Yes, indeed. Well, those kids always have that sort of motivation for a factor, right? When you get on that horse and you think about, man, that kids need some new shoes today, so I'm going to make sure I get to the winner's circle, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100% for sure. Shawn, anything else for Jerry before we let him go?
So when you're not on the horses, you're not with family, you're not watching sports, any other things you like to do?
Not really. Relax. I spend pretty much a lot of time with the kids. The fact like I know. Usually I'm not friendly like that to spend with other people, anything like that. I just pretty much try to spend my time with my family. And the fact like my family is kind of small. It's just saying because pretty much my family is my wife family, which they treat me great, because from my side, I really don't have a family. I just only have an uncle. All my family is in Puerto Rico, so I spend a lot of time with them, and they are that type of family that they do a lot of stuff. They cook out, they went out, so pretty much all my time off or whatever, I pretty much spend it with them.
How old are your kids?
My kid, they one turned 8 and the other one turned 11 on Sunday. So
happy birthday to the one that turned 11. So you have Paulo Tipa Gomez saying, "Let's go, Dad."
It's my wife out there.
Oh, she's over there laughing. I hear her laughing. For sure. All right then, Shawn. Anything else?
No, that's it. I appreciate you coming on, Jerry. It was a pleasure to meet you. And you're another one. We always talk about the people that come out of the Puerto Rico school of jockeys. You're always smiling. You were smiling at the track as well. So
do they teach you that in the school? Do they teach you that in the school?
Not really, but it's part of it. You gotta always smile. You gotta let know people that you be proud of your job, and you do your job with all that kind of all that kind of happiness.
Mhm. Well, certainly we hope you have a lot of happiness. And we know that the one thing that after family, friends, God, and all that, the one thing that I'm sure that generates the most happiness for you is to find the winner circle. So Sean and I will be looking for that winning smile in the winner circle going forward.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
And we look forward to it. And as your career grows, we'll make sure you don't forget about us when we ask you to come back. All right.
All right, anytime. You guys welcome anytime. And thanks a lot, you guys, for the opportunity. And you guys always welcome over here.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, Sean doesn't live too far from you. You better be careful because he might come over and eat all your ceviche.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I figured out that because he was the other day. He said I was behind the winner circle when you win. I was like, say yeah, I'm close, pretty close. I say, oh, I probably see him often.
Yeah,
But
I know because I went to Saratoga with him. I had to put the reins on him and tell you come home. Well. All righty. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. Have a wonderful evening. Continued success. Sorry to interrupt your preparation for tomorrow, but good luck.
no
Hope you win
problem.
both of them.
You guys are welcome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have
Thanks,
a great
Jerry.
evening.
Absolutely.
Ooh, he still has the skill, Sean, to give you the big head. Before we move on, that was always a lot of fun, Sean. I always find I enjoy meeting new people, and certainly he's a very charismatic young man, and hopefully he has a lot of success. As you said, all those guys coming out of that Puerto Rican school, man, they must teach how to smile there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he won I went, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks before the Penn Mile, and he won, and I got to say hi to him. He didn't know who I was at the time, but he was always, very approachable. And then he had, like I said, a bunch of family there, and I think I got to talk to his girlfriend or wife a little bit. Yeah, we're all not very nice people.
Sounds pretty fun. Very nice person as well. Usually been very well treating the folks around here pretty good. Is Picks with the Professor. There's a link. I don't know. Did that Phillies and Marlins game start already, Sean?
Last I saw it was 1-1 in the fifth.
1-1 in the fifth. So he's on the under. It's probably a little bit too late for that, but make sure you bookmark it. You'll see it here in the description on Horse Center. Make sure you bookmark his picks every day, because if you play baseball at all, and I'm not talking about the Jerry type of baseball where you're a second baseman turn outfielder. I mean, where you're putting a little bit of Sean's money on it. The Professor has been really pretty hot on all of that. Speaking of being hot, Sean, any surprises for you that when you look at the Saratoga meet coming to an end, that, Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz winning the titles?
No, not at all. I'm pretty sure, I'm sure Irad was the favorite. Chad Brown was probably the favorite as well to win the titles, and they did. Irad went to Colonial today, and he won 5 winners at Colonial as well. So
yeah, I was going to say, I think he won the Colonial title today too.
Yeah.
Was he on 6 mounts and he won 5 of them?
So it's possible. I don't know how many mounts he had, but I do know he won 5 of them. So
what's funny about that is this morning, Terry and I did Colonial Downs, and I was going through my picks, and I was like, I can't pick Irad in every race because he was, as I was going through my handicapping, I should have picked Irad in every race.
Yeah, and I know the argument that, he's going to get the better horses, which is fine, but it's also not easy to go to a track that you don't ride at every time, and you're beating jockeys that ride there all the time. So,
I have to say today, I think he went on a couple horses today, Sean, that were I think he had at least one 7-1 winner today. So I know that they weren't all short prices for sure. So I know that he did click on a couple. I think the 10 horse that he won on was 5-2, wasn't the favorite. He was getting bet down a lot though today, because a lot of it, like in the first race that he won on the 1 horse, I think it ended up being the favorite, but it was 8-1 morning line. So I think he was just detracting a lot of money too, because the folks that were following the races at Colonial Downs realized that he was in fuego, on fire, and they started backing him. So he had a good day.
And another thing we talk about it, we've had a couple of agents on. Good job to his agent as well, booking all those mounts, Steve Rushing. So great job by him as well, booking those at another track.
Jose's got to be like, yo.
What I mean? Jose a couple days ago had 4 winners at Saratoga too. So it does feel like, he might have gotten a couple more mounts than normal and won more since. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that works out well for both of them. So, and they'll ride 1-2 in a lot of races. All right. So, along with Chad, and who was in the news, of course, at Saratoga for a lot of reasons this year, he's probably happy as hell to get out of there. But anyway, Saratoga meet concludes with a record handle and robust attendance, Sean. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that happened here at Saratoga while we were there. First of all, it was, I can say firsthand, they talk about the attendance. They talk, I wonder how many people got COVID they didn't put that statistic in there, but so Monday announced that all sources wagering the handle at Saratoga Racecourse surged to $878 million for 2022. That was the eclipsing the previous record of $815 million established last year. So a 7.7% growth. That's mostly all of my money when I was there, Sean, when I lost those 2 days. But, all these people who are talking about horse racing's dead, do you feel like that's an indication that if you do things right, it's not dead?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about this at a lot of different tracks or different articles where things are up. I don't think horse racing is dead at all. I think the numbers suggest the other way. There's kind of a surge. I feel like since the whole COVID deal where there were a few more people that discovered horse racing, actually. It's just a matter of keeping them. And I would also say, I mean, fans love Saratoga for the social aspect and everything else. I think it'd be great. Some do, some don't. That if they expanded their coverage and continued with horse racing after the Saratoga meet as well, and put as much effort in with Saratoga as they do, in other tracks as they do Saratoga as well, because as they can see, it's a great sport.
Well, I think a lot of it does have to do with the social scene post racing, right? I mean, we didn't really participate in any of that because we went back to handicap, and Terry and Tom wanted to go to bed.
It's a good thing we did.
They're older men. Yeah, we got half the town sick. But in any case, a couple of other interesting things here. The Klaravich stables were the meet's leading owner. And then you had Run Happy, Travers Day, generated a record-setting all sources handle of $55.6 million as there were 49,762 paying customers. They watched Epicenter win the 153rd running of Saratoga's signature race. Saratoga Live, our good friend Lefebvre Pankai Jr., had record ratings, so that's good to see as well. So people not only were interested in the track, at the track, but on the outside. So do you feel like maybe some folks out there, Sean, I don't want to say who, but maybe some of these bigger tracks that don't have a Lefebvre Pankai on site might think about giving us a call and say, hey, you guys want to man a tent in front of the in front of the track?
Hey, our phone, we'll answer our phones. We'll tell you that, right?
Indeed. Hall of Fame jockey, as we know, John Velasquez managed to get his 1,000th win at Saratoga during this meet. Joel Rosario set a Saratoga record for, 12 stakes wins in a row?
12 stakes in a row.
I mean, 12 stakes wins, not in a row, but 12 stakes wins.
Wait,
no, not 12 stakes. 12 graded stakes wins during the meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's 12 times an opportunity for Eddie C to run up and put his arm around him and put a picture on Twitter. And then Jackie's Warrior. I think this one's pretty interesting to me. Sean became the first horse in the history of that track to win 3 grade 1s 3 years in a row, which I find to be, considering, the longevity of that track. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks, when you get there, it still looks like it's something from the 50s. That's the first horse to do that.
Yeah, I saw this stat before he won it, and then when he won it, I posted it on Horse Racing Today. And trust me, I had to check the stat a couple times because it does sound kind of odd that he's the first horse to do that.
So definitely an interesting year at Saratoga. I know maybe next year I'll want to go back, though. I'm going to have, one time when I was a kid, I had one of those Monte Cristo sandwiches, with like the turkey and the cheese, and it's like French toast, and you put like sugar on it or syrup on it. I got so sick, I never ate one of those damn things again. And I can remember like the nastiness of being ill afterwards. I kind of have that same Monte Cristo feeling post Saratoga. Has nothing to do with the track, of course.
Yeah, and other two moments that were great while we were there, Jackie Davis won for her father in her first Saratoga win, which was great to see. And then last Friday, Katie Davis McCarthy returned and rode one race. And she'll ride more regularly in, I think, November at Aqueduct. But stuff like that's cool too. I mean, the whole, Katie was riding a long shot, really didn't have a chance in the race, but just the whole atmosphere of seeing her get back on the horse again and doing all that was cool to see and a cool thing to watch. I feel like horse racing needs more of that stuff too to be promoted.
Those personal stories, yeah, they do. Well, one other thing we did see, you didn't see because you weren't there, was the Clydesdales, the first time in 15 years when we were there on that Friday. Funny story about that real quick. So I kept telling Terry and Tom over and over and over again, the Clydesdales are coming. The Clydesdales are coming. We got to get pictures, blah, 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 blah. I was sitting in my seat almost the entire time. We were down like in the not in the grandstands, but where the like little restaurant area is.
Mhm.
We were on the very end of the restaurant area, a little bit past the finish line, the very last seat, very comfortable, nobody in our way, very convenient for Terry and Tom for their repeated trips up the stairs into the men's room. But the one time I decide to get up out of the chair to go wander around, I'm all the way down the stairs into like that infield area where the jockeys and the people are picnicking and stuff. And I hear over the PA, and please welcome the Clydesdales. I'm reminding everybody that they're coming. I had my senior moment and completely forgot they were coming and had to run all the way back up the stairs because we're like on the third floor. Couldn't get all the way up there. So I'm in the grandstands taking pictures. People are standing up, blocking the Clydesdales. So the one thing I was looking forward to that day, besides trying to cash a few tickets, I missed because I had a senior moment.
Yeah, that always happens when you're looking forward to something. You either go to the bathroom or you get distracted and then you miss it anyway. I feel like that a lot with
or you're just old.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
Speaking of football, Shawn and I put up, along with Jared, if you haven't had a chance to check that out on the Horse Racing Radar TV, we're going to cover the NFL. So starting Thursday, NFL season starts. If we have a pick in the Rams and the Buffalo Bills game, I'll talk about the picks live on Wednesday's show at the end, on Thursday morning show when Tom and I get done doing Kentucky Downs. And then on Friday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern, Shawn and I and Jared will be making our picks for the following Sunday. Of course, the picks from the professor, he does college football, so you're going to want to check that out. I think his picks of the day on college football are 2-0 or 3-0, so he's on fire to get started with the new college football season. And then tomorrow night, Shawn, who's our guest?
Trainer George Allen Bryan. He's young and new into the game. I believe his father was a trainer as well, but he's been around the sport for a while, and we've had some requests for him. So real interesting guy and another great guy to get to know.
Yes, we're like a 50s jukebox. If you have a request, let us know. We'll go out and get that record and get the plan. And then Thursday night, we're going to cover Kentucky Downs, Shawn's favorite track, according to his text, which it was anything but that's my favorite track. Can't repeat it. Too many four-letter words. And then I will be back tomorrow with Charles because Terry's off on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. He's it's one of those things, man. When you become a star, you get all of these different demands on me. Now Terry wants his time off to enjoy his stardom out in public, so go enjoy that, Terry. Tomorrow, Charles and I will be back. We'll try to make our friends in Turkey happy tomorrow by covering Delaware. Thursday, Tom and I will be back to cover Kentucky Downs. Friday, Tom and I will be back again for our Foreign Fridays I think we're going to do Doncaster and the Curragh, so some really good, probably turf racing over in Europe. That'll be a lot of fun. Saturday, Chris P. and Eddie C. I have no idea what they're going to do from their spot plays. The two of them are probably having upper New York withdrawals, but they'll figure it out by then. And, of course, we'll be back as normal next Monday. Any final thoughts after going wire to wire on this Tuesday, Shawn?
So tomorrow we'll head into day number 10 of Jockey Survivor, and we are down to 15 people. A lot of people are doing really good this time. A lot more people are advancing each day than what we had the first time. So
did you play?
Yeah, and I'm still alive.
Oh, you're still alive.
I'm one of the 15.
One of the 15. All right. Well, good luck on that.
I was nervous the other day. I took Xavier Perez, and he had a couple live mounts, and he waited till his last mount to get that win. So
yeah, I think I made it down to the last 3 last time, and I knew when I picked the guy I picked the last time I was not going to win, which kind of bothered me. Like he had that internal feeling, and you do it anyway.
Yeah, that's the feeling I started getting with Xavier Perez too. And luckily, he bailed me out and ended up winning anyway.
So Jared's texting me talking about he can't wait to make his picks for Thursday. So we'll have those again Thursday for the NFL. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern for Charles and I, as we'll make our picks for Delaware Park. If you're in Turkey, you're probably sleeping now. We'll see you tomorrow when you're awake. Until then, we hope that no matter what you do, Shawn, for the rest of this evening, until we get together again tomorrow, we certainly hope it ends up in only one place, and that place can only be
the winner's circle.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, one final thing. If you like what you saw tonight, please give us a thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at Horse Race Today. We're only a couple of people short of 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed already, please, on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 2K. And then from there, we're going to ask you to help us get to 3K. So we appreciate everybody who's following along, who's subscribing. It's, we are absolutely grateful for that. Have a great evening. Thanks, Robert, for the good word all the time. We appreciate you coming every day. Much like Robert, come back every day and tell your friends about us. Till we meet again, have a great evening. Got to press the right button now, Shawn, because there's too many to pick from.